Hi, Lauren. It's Val. Again, forgive me, first time trying to record and send stuff, so I just hope my phone doesn't die. It's at 92%. I hope we can see me all in here, but I got a fun little spicy hour flow with a couple of little tricks we can throw in today. And yeah, I hope your trip's going really well. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna play a little bit of music with it. The neighbor apartment has been chopping things down with a chainsaw all day today. So fingers crossed they're done with that. But we're gonna get going anyways. Yeah, all right, let's go ahead and do some yoga. So we're gonna get started in just a nice, comfortable, easy seated position today. So I'm gonna come to the mat, try and make sure that I'm in the frame this whole time. So just come to a nice, comfortable, easy seated position on your mat. If you've got blocks with you, you can have those close by. I always like to have them around if I need them. We're just gonna get nice and comfortable in our easy seated position. Just shut our eyes down, maybe shake the shoulders out a little bit. And then take a nice full inhale in through your nose. Exhale, slowly start to sigh it out. Inhale in through your nose, feel your belly rise, and your rib cage expands. Exhale, open your mouth. Go ahead and let go of something that no longer serves you. You know, you've been saying that you had a pretty crazy schedule, so, you know, kudos to making it to your mat, putting yoga as a priority. Hopefully this video works out and you're feeling it. Hopefully it's bringing a little bit of home to you on your exciting adventure. So if you'd like to set an intention for your practice, you can. An intention that I've been offering up for the month of February is The Four Agreements, one of my favorite little books. I've been talking a lot about agreement number 3, but before we get started, I'll just go ahead and say all 4 agreements. If one of them resonates with you, maybe you can use that as your intention. If not, pick an intention that resonates with you. But agreement number 1 is be impeccable with your word. Number 2, don't take things personally. I need to work on that one. Number 3, don't make assumptions. That's what I've been talking about this week. And number 4, always do your best. So if one of those resonates with you, you're welcome to take that with you into your week. If not, set your own. And hit the music. Hopefully it's not too loud. I'll try and keep it soft. No, that's not the song I meant. You can start to tap into your Ujjayi Pranayama. Inhaling in through your nose. And then on your exhale, seal your lips. Constrict the back of the throat slightly. And exhale out through your nose. Inhale in through your nose. And Ujjayi out through your nose. I'm going to start with some nice slow neck circles. Bring your chin to your chest. Right ear to right shoulder. Gaze goes up towards the sky. And then left ear to left shoulder. So just nice slow neck circles. And then slowly start to reverse those neck circles. Take it in the other direction. And then slowly bring your chin back through center. We're gonna get some shoulder rolls going on your next inhale. Bring your shoulders up by your ears. Then drop them away from the ears and down the back. I always hear little crunches in my shoulders when these start. So if you're hearing some crunches, you're not alone, me too. And then reverse those shoulder rolls, take them up and forward. And we'll move through some seated cat-cows to warm up the spine. Bring your hands to your knees. On your next inhale, press into the knees with the palms. Lift your chest through, shine your heart up towards the sky. And then exhale, round and curl, chin to chest. Inhale, sit up tall, cow pose. Exhale, round and curl for cat. Continue to move at your own pace with your own breath, inhaling for cow and exhaling for cat. Just slowly start to move through a few more of these. And then come back to that neutral spine. We're gonna make our way into reverse tabletop on our mat. So start to walk your feet out in front of you, about hips width distance apart. Walk your hands back behind you, fingertips face towards you. And then on your next inhale, press down through the hands and the feet. Lift the hips up. Gaze goes up towards the sky. So really keep grounding down through the knuckles of the hands. Feel that expansion through the front of the chest. Nice deep breaths. Exhale, slowly release your hips down to the mat. And then start to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Begin to bring your knees back through center. And we're gonna take a seated figure four stretch. So cross your right ankle over the left knee, flex those right toes. And to deepen this, you're gonna walk the hands in a little bit. You can walk that foot in as well. So just sit up nice and tall. If those outer hips are really tight, you may wanna walk it back some. So just find where you're at, pick your poison. Take a few more deep breaths here. Now we're gonna keep those figure four legs. I'm trying to make sure I stay in the shot here. I'm gonna walk down onto our forearms, lower down onto our back. So we're in a figure four position on our back. We're gonna do a little bit of core. I know you said you wanna work towards inversion. That's one of your goals. A nice strong core is super important for that. Left hand comes behind your head. Exhale, left elbow, right knee, twist. Inhale, back down. Exhale, twist. Inhale, take it back down. Keep moving for 8. Try not to pull on the neck here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, slowly release. Go ahead and cross that right leg all the way over the left. Maybe eagle the legs if you can. And then bring the right arm under, left arm over. Wrists are gonna cross, palms touch. If you can't, make that vine grab opposite shoulders. On your next exhale, you're gonna crunch elbows to knees. Inhale, back down. Exhale, crunch it in. Inhale, take it back down. Keep moving with your breath for 3. Crunch it in for 2. And then on that last one, crunch it in. Squeeze, hold, breathe. Slowly release. Keep those eagle legs. Arms are gonna come out to a T. And then let your eagle legs fall towards the left. Keep your right shoulder plugged into the mat. If the bind is too much, then you can release the legs and just take a gentle supine twist. But if that bind feels good, you can keep the bind to get deeper on that right hip. Slowly make your way back through center. Go ahead and grab behind your knees, and you're gonna start to rock and roll from front to back. So rock and roll it out. Just get as many rock and rolls in as you like. I'm gonna take about 5. And then we're gonna rock and roll our way into a Malasana Yogi squat. So see if you can use that momentum to rock and roll right into your Malasana. So heel toe the feet about hips width distance apart, thumbs come to heart center. Use your elbows to drive the knees outwards, crown of the head reaches towards the sky. 3 deep breaths here. On your next exhale, release both palms to the mat. Send your hips up towards the sky. And then heel toe feet so they're about hips width distance apart. Grab opposing elbows. Let the head hang heavy for ragdoll. Put a little bit of a bend in the knees. Just let that head hang nice and heavy.
If you want to get a little deeper into this, you can always bind the hands behind your back and then take your clasp hands up and away from the sacrum. Get into the shoulders a little bit. Exhale, release. Nice slow roll up to standing, stacking the spine vertebrae by vertebrae. When you get to the top, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, cactus your arms, look up, look back. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift, front of the head reaches forward. Exhale, fold. Step back into your high plank. Move through your first vinyasa. Use your toes to propel yourself a few inches forward. Lower down halfway, elbows graze the sides. Untuck the toes, pull your chest through for upward facing dog. And then exhale, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. So this is our first down dog of the practice. I like to get a little bit of movement in here. So maybe you pedal the feet, sway the hips, ground down through the knuckles of the hands. And then find some stillness in your downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Slowly start to walk your feet to meet your hands, front of the mat, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, crown of the head reaches forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, chair pose. We're just here for 3 deep breaths. Feel those hips start to warm up. So shift the weight back into the heels. Tuck that tailbone just a little bit, chest stays lifted. Slowly start to rise up onto the tiptoes, lift the heels, slow lower down for 3, 2, and last 1. So we're gonna hold here in our toe stand, challenge the balance for a few deep breaths. And then when you're ready, start to drop down to a seated position on your mat, Navasana bow pose. So lift the toes up off of the mat. Arms come out alongside you. Try to draw those shoulder blades together. Lean back slightly. If you want the challenge, straighten the legs. So strong, embrace those shakes. 2 more deep breaths. Exhale, release the feet down to the mat. Coming into another reverse tabletop. Walk those fingertips back behind you a little bit. This time if you want to go for a reverse plank, you have that option. Extend your legs out long in front of you. Press down through the hands. Point the toes. Lift the hips. Drishti goes up towards the sky. So again, that modification is going to be with the knees bent. They're both challenging, so both are hard. Slowly release those hips down to the mat. Setting up for that figure 4 stretch on the other side. Right foot stays down. Cross your left ankle up and over the right leg. Sit up nice and tall. We're really just trying to get into that outer left hip here. Stay with your breath. And then we're gonna make our way down onto our back. So just start to lower down onto your forearms. Make your way down onto your back. Arms come out to a T. Right hand behind the head. Exhale, right elbow, left knee, twist. Inhale, back down. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back down. Keep moving for 8. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Go ahead and cross that left leg all the way up and over. We're gonna eagle those legs. If you want that eagle wrap, wrap that left toe underneath that right leg. Left arm comes under, right arm over. Palms touch, or give yourself that hug. Setting up for those eagle crunches. Exhale, crunch elbows to knees. Inhale, back down. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, back down. Keep moving. For 3, 2. On that last one, crunch, hold. Exhale, release. Keep those eagle legs. Arms come out to a T. Let your eagle legs fall towards the right. Unravel them if it's too much. Left shoulder stays plugged into the mat. Gaze goes towards the left. On your next inhale, bring your legs back through center. Go ahead and grab behind your knees. We're going to start to rock and roll again. So just rock and roll it out. Get as many in as you like. This time, see if you can gain momentum enough to rock and roll into a forward fold. So see if you can rock and roll onto your feet, send the hips up. Make your way into that forward fold. If that didn't happen, just get up onto your hands and feet, however you need to. On your next inhale, rise up, reach up, come up to standing. Grab that left wrist with the right hand. Exhale, hinge over towards the right side. Inhale, back through center. Switch out the grip. Exhale, over towards the left. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into your high plank. Move through your vinyasa. Lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. On your next inhale, send your right heel towards the sky. 3-legged dog. Exhale, right knee, right elbow tap. And then wrist to elbow elevators for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, shoot your right leg back up. Exhale, bring it in knee to nose. Inhale, shoot your right leg back up. Right knee, left elbow tap. And then shoot your right leg out towards the left side. Left arm reaches up towards the sky. Coming into your fallen triangle. Option to stay right here. If you want to get some arm circles in, you can circle that left arm out for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release that left hand to the mat. Crossbody push-up if you want it. Before you shoot your right leg back up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Step that right foot to meet the left. Down dog, roll forward into a high plank. Start to drop it down to a forearm plank. Right arm and then the left. And then we're gonna do some things called little slicers to work the shoulders. Rock from front to back on the toes for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly start to walk your feet up into a dolphin pose. So keep your forearms on the mat. You can bend into those knees. It's like a down dog, but we're on our forearms. And then gaze goes back towards the back of the room. Take a couple deep breaths here. Feel those shoulders start to open up. And then slowly start to walk your feet towards the back of the mat. Take it up to a high plank. If you want a vinyasa, you can take it. Otherwise, press straight back into your downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Exhale, side out. Inhale, send your right heel towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in knee to nose. Step your right foot between the hands. Left knee drops to the mat. Sweep your arms up towards the sky, low lunge. Take a couple deep breaths here. On your next exhale, cactus your arms. Look up, look back. Inhale, arms reach up.
Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Tuck the left toes under, lift the knee. Once we're here, left arm down, right arm reaches up, easy twist. Slowly start to move into horizon lunge. So we're gonna roll to the blade edge of that left foot. Left hip drops, right arm reaches towards the back of the room. So our gaze goes back towards our right fingertips. On your next inhale, come through that easy twist. Wiggle the right hand down to the mat. And then start to heel toe your right foot to the outside of the right hand. So we're in a lizard lunge. We're gonna move through some lizard to pyramid rocks. On your next inhale, drop your hips, look up. Exhale, both of the hands are on the inside, but we're gonna straighten the legs as much as we can. Funky pyramid. Inhale, drop your hips, look up. Exhale, straighten both of the legs and the hips up. One more. Exhale, straighten. This time we're gonna hold here. Feel that hamstring begin to open up. Maybe you flex those right toes back towards you. And then you're gonna start to walk your hands over towards the left side, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So wide-legged forward fold, just for the purpose of me not flashing the camera at you, I'm gonna turn this way. So in your wide-legged forward folds, you can either stay right here, hang for a few deep breaths. Since you said you wanted to work on inversions too, we can start to try to move into a headstand as well. One of my favorite times to practice headstand. So if you aren't feeling steady enough, you want to move towards a wall, you can. I suggest supported headstand first. So supported headstand first, you're going to kind of clasp the hands together and you're going to bring your forearms down to the mat. You're going to take the top of your head to the mat. And then you're going to move forward onto the toes. Maybe one toe lifts, maybe the other. If that core feels good, maybe you start to extend your legs up towards the sky. And I like the weight more when we start, the weight's gonna be more in the forearms than anything. So I like to try and press into those forearms. Keep that weight out of the top of my head as much as I can. So it's really about strength here. If it's bothering the neck at all, back off. All right, flipping back around to the side that I was on. On your next exhale, Skandasana towards the back of the mat. So start to bend into that left leg. For the sake of facing you, I'll turn around again, I guess. If you want, left hand can come down. Right arm reaches up. Maybe you reach back behind that left leg and grab that bind. So you're reaching the left hand in front of the left leg. Seeing if you can bind the hands. Sit up nice and tall. Breathe. Slowly crawl your hands towards the front of the mat, coming into a low lunge. So we're gonna bend into that right leg, setting up for standing splits. Shift the weight into the right foot. Left hip reaches up towards the sky. So I usually like to use this as handstand hop time, but today we're gonna move into something kind of fun later on in class. So I've been working on a bind. I think turning this way may work best. So if you want to join me for the bind, you're going to open the left hip. So you're going to stack the left hip on top of the right, bend that left knee so the left heel is coming down towards the right glute. And then you're gonna press down with that left hand. Right arm's gonna reach for that left foot. Maybe you can try to gently guide that left heel down towards the left glute. Point that left knee up towards the sky. I'll turn this way too if that helps. So you're just grabbing a bind, right hand to left foot, and we're pointing that left knee up towards the sky. Feel that nice quad stretch on that left side. And then exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into high plank vinyasa. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, send the hips up and back.
downward facing dog. On your next inhale, left heel towards the sky. Left knee, left elbow tap. Elevators, wrist to elbow, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, left leg back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, back up. Left knee, right elbow tap. And then shoot that left leg out towards the right side. Right arm reaches up towards the sky, ball and triangle. If you want those arm circles, you can. Take nice big circles with that top arm for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, release that right hand to the mat. Cross body push-up if you want it. And then shoot your left leg back up towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Step that left foot to meet the right. Move forward into your high plank. Once you're here, forearm plank. Right arm and then the left. And then start to walk your feet up into dolphin pose. So we're in dolphin pose. If you have a forearm stand in your practice, you can start to move into that. You want to start working towards forearm stand. Right, left foot's going to come down. First, start by sitting that right leg up. And then you're going to switch sides. Right foot down, left leg up. And then slowly take it down. Walk your feet towards the back of the mat. Coming into that forearm plank. Take it up into high plank, optional vinyasa, or downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. On your next inhale, left heel towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, bring it in knee to nose. Step your left foot between the hands. Right knee drops to the mat. Sweep your arms up towards the sky, low lunge. Exhale, cactus your arms, look up, look back. Inhale, arms reach back up. Exhale, both hands come to the mat. Tuck the right toes under, lift the knee. Once you're here, right arm down, left arm reaches up, easy twist. Coming into that horizon lunge, roll to the blade edge of the right foot, right hip drops, left arm reaches towards the back of the room. Inhale, come back through center. Windmill that left hand down to the mat. Start to heel toe your left foot to the outside of that left hand. Lizard to pyramid rocks. Inhale, hips drop, look up. Exhale, straighten the legs, round the spine. Exhale, hips drop, look up. Exhale, rounds. And then slowly settle back in. This time, send the hips up and back. Funky pyramid, few deep breaths here. Slowly start to walk your hands over towards the right side. Walk that back foot in as much as you need to. You're in your wide-legged forward fold. And if you want to move into a headstand, you can. Again, be mindful. We want the top of the head on the mat. I like that supported headstand where we clasp our hands and bring our forearms down. Head comes down to the mat. Or otherwise, this time you can just hang. If you're in that wide-legged forward fold, shift the weight from the heels into the balls of the feet so that they stack. And slowly start to make your way into Skandasana towards the back of the mat. So facing you this time. So we're bending into that right leg this time. Sink the hips down nice and low. If you want a little more, right arm down, left arm up. Maybe you reach back behind that right leg, grab that bind. Slowly start calling your hands towards the front of the mat, coming into a low lunge, bending into that left leg. And then once you're there, shift the weight into the left foot, right heel reaches. We're coming into those standing splits. So again, maybe you stay here in your standing splits. If you want to start moving to that bind that we'll do something with later, you can. You're going to stack the right hip on top of the left, bend that right knee, and you're going to send the right heel towards the right glute. So I think it might look better if I stand this way. So our left foot's down, right heel's lifting, right heel to left glute. Round down through that right hand. Block can come under the right hand too if you like. And reach back with that left hand for the right foot and try to point the right knee up towards the sky. So we're not forcing here, but just gently kind of guiding that right heel down and pointing that right knee up as much as we can. And when you're ready, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, folds. Step back into high plank, move through your vinyasa. Lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take 3 deep breaths here. I'm gonna grab a little bit of water. All right, we got one more little bit of a push. And then we'll have a child's pose time. I mean, you can take child's pose whatever you like, but one more little push. Then we'll get that nice little break. When you're ready, inhale, right heel towards the sky, 3-legged dog. Bend the knees, stack the hips, scorpion tail. Option to stay, or if you want to move into a flip dog, flip your dog, right foot down, hips up, right arm reaches towards the front of the room. Slowly with control, right hand comes down. Shoot your right leg back up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it in knee to nose. Step your right foot between the hands. And then you're gonna spiral your left heel down at a 45. Square your hips out towards the front of the room. Sweep your arms up towards the sky for warrior one. So feet should be heel to heel alignment. Really ground down through that right foot to draw that right hip back. Core is engaged, tailbone is tucked just slightly. Exhale, open up, warrior two, right side. Settle in for a few deep breaths. Make sure that right knee's stacked on each exhale. Can you sink a little deeper? And gonna turn to face you again. Inhale, reach forward with that right hand. Exhale, reverse your warrior, right arm comes up and back. Extended side angle, right forearm to right thigh. Left arm sweeps up towards the corner of the room. So we're making this diagonal from the left fingertips towards that left heel. If you want to drop this down lower, you can. If you want to half bind, left hand to right hip crease, to full bind, right arm comes down under and around. If you're coming into that bird of paradise, then the left foot is going to step to meet the right, ground down through that left foot, keep the bind with the hands, and then make your way up to standing. And then if it feels good, you can start to extend and straighten through that front leg. Make your way out of the pose the same way you came in, stepping that right foot down, step that left foot back. When you're ready, reverse warrior, right arm up and back. Start to straighten through that right leg. I like to heel toe my left foot in a little bit for Trikonasana. Right arm reaches forward, right arm comes down to your shin, to the floor, to a block, left arm reaches up towards the sky. So we're trying to get our body like we're in between two panes of glass here. If you can touch the floor, that's fine. We just want to make sure that we don't dump forward for that to happen. So if we're reaching for that big toe to touch the floor, we still want to keep from our chest dumping and our booty popping out. On your next inhale, right arm comes up and back. Half moon. So we're going to start to bend into that right leg. Grab a block here if you need to. I'm just trying to stay in the frame. Right arm comes down to the floor or to a block. Left hand stacks on top of the right. Left fingertips reach up towards the sky. So if you have that bind, you can always bend that left leg, reach back with the left hand, kick into the hands, take sugar cane. Moving into revolved half moon very slowly. If you have a block, you can use it. You're gonna square the hips off. Left hand comes down to the floor to a block. Right arm reaches up towards the sky. We're flexing those left toes. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, fold. Step back into high plank vinyasa. I'm gonna turn around since I switch positions. Once you take that vinyasa, meeting back in down dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Left heel towards the sky, three-legged dog. Bend the knees, stack the hips, scorpion tail. Option to stay here if you want that flip dog. Right hand down, left foot down, hips up, left arm reaches towards the front of the room. Slowly with that same control, take your left hand down, shoot your left leg back up towards the sky. Exhale, bring it in knee to nose, step your left foot between the hands, spiral your right heel down into 45, sweep your arms up towards the sky, warrior one. And we're just settling in for a breath or two, or 3 or 4. Palms can touch if that's accessible. Grounding down through that left big toe mound. We're gluing the blade edge of that right foot to the mat. Exhale, open up for warrior two, left side. Since we're coming from warrior one, we're gonna keep that heel to heel alignment. On your next inhale, reach forward, exhale, reverse your warrior. Left arm comes up and back. Keep that bend just as strong in that left leg. Extended side angle, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm sweeps towards the corner of the room. Draw that right shoulder blade back, gaze goes up. Again, if you want that half bind, you can. Right hand for left hip crease. Left hand can come down, under, and around. If you have the full bind, if that feels good and you want to move into bird of paradise, step that right foot up to, step it up to meet the left, ground down through the right foot, and then start to make your way up to standing. See if I can get it this time. Embrace those wiggles and wobbles, and then maybe you straighten through that left leg. Start to make your way out of the pose the same way you got in. Meeting in that reverse triangle, straighten that left leg this time. Then slowly reach forward with the left hand. Once you're here, left arm down, right arm reaches up, triangle pose. And if you're feeling unstable, walk that back foot in a little bit. If you want to, if you can reach for that left big toe, you can. Just make sure our chest doesn't bump up forward. If we can do it while staying that one straight line, totally fine. On your next inhale, reach that left arm up and back. Exhale, half moon. So put a big bend into that left leg. Left hand comes down to the floor or to a block. So grab that block at any height. If you've got a pretty strong half moon, maybe hover the left fingertips. If you took that bind on the other side, maybe you bend that right leg, reach back with the right hand, kick into it, take that bind. Slowly with control, don't rush this one. Right hand comes down to the floor or to a block, hips stay squared off. Once you're there, press into that left hand, reach that left arm up towards the sky. Revolved half moon, this one's tough, stay with it. On your next exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into high plank, move through your flow. Lower down halfway. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Drop down to a child's pose. Come down to your knees, big toes to touch. Knees out wide, send your hips back towards your heels. Bring your forehead down to the mat. And we're just gonna settle in. I'm gonna come up and check the time real quick. Make sure how I'm doing. All right where I thought I was. Okay. We're gonna do a little bit of balancing today, but first, child's pose. This is 40 minutes through class before we get a child's pose. This is well earned. Grab some water, towel off. And then just relax for a few more deep breaths. We've got some balancing we're gonna do after this. And then we're gonna cool it down. When you're ready, we're gonna start to make our way back into our downward facing dog. Send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step or float your feet to meet your hands, front of the mat, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, folds. Inhale, rise up, reach up, come up to standing. Exhale, chair pose. Sink your hips down nice and low. On each exhale, can you sink down just a little lower? And then exhale, sweep your arms back, hinge forward, turbo chair. Pull your belly in and up. Draw those shoulder blades together. On your next inhale, you're gonna come up to standing, bring that right knee with you. And then we're gonna come into, so we have options here. I'm gonna turn to face you. So we have options here. Standing leg raise, you can keep the knee and you can open the knee out towards the side. If you wanna work towards the bind, standing peace fingers, take your index and middle finger, wrap them around your big toe. If this feels good, really ground down through that left foot and then see if you can extend your right leg out in front of you. Keep your hips squared off here. Maybe you bend that elbow and reach your chin towards your shin. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, try to open that right leg up towards the side without this happening. My hip always wants to do that too, but try to keep the hips leveled off here. If that feels okay, gaze goes over the left shoulder. So the modification is gonna be the knee. That's totally fine. Stay with it. On your next inhale, bring your right leg back through center, dancing Shiva. So you're gonna take the left hand to the blade edge of the right foot, right arm reaches back. It can come to the knee as well. So we can come to the blade edge of that right foot or the knee, yogi's choice. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, warrior three, kick your right heel back behind you. Hinge forward. Exhale, hands come down to the mat. Standing splits. You can take a few handstand hops here if you like. We're gonna move into something called baby grasshopper. So we're gonna build on that bind we did with the standing splits earlier. So I'm gonna face you this time, but I know I did the bind. I'll walk you through that bind again, and then just something fun we're gonna play with, some baby grasshopper today. So where we're at, our left foot is down and our right heel is lifted. We're coming back into that bind, bending the knees, stacking the hips. Right heel drops to left glute. You're gonna walk that right hand out towards the side. If it needs to come under a block, it can. So walk that right hand out towards the side, take that bind, bend that, reach back with that left hand for the right foot. And then you're gonna press down into that right hand. Start to bend into the left leg. And as you start to bend into that left leg, you're gonna bend into the right arm as well. And then you're just gonna shift the weight into that right hand. I like to bring my elbow in towards my side, and you're gonna kick that left leg out towards the side. That's baby grasshopper. So that left foot's on the ground, right leg's out towards the side. You can just kind of roll out of this onto the floor. If you can come back up, you can press back into that right hand Come back up through that standing splits. Woo. If you want a vinyasa, you can take a vinyasa. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step back into your high plank. Move through your vinyasa. Lower down halfway. I'm going to grab water. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we've got one more side of that, then we're gonna stretch it out. Step or float your feet to meet your hands, front of the mat, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lifts. Exhale, folds. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, chair pose, sink your hips down nice and low. Utkatasana, last one. I know we saved them for the end, but only these two are getting them in. Sink those hips a little lower. Exhale, sweep your arms back, hinge forward, coming into that turbo chair. On your next inhale, rise up. Bring that left knee up with you. Standing leg raise. Same thing we did on the other side. So our right foot is down. We're bringing that left knee up with us. Again, this entire time, you can grab that left knee. You can take it out towards the left side. If you want to take peace fingers to that left big toe, you can. Ground down through the right foot. Get that right leg as straight as you can. And then you're going to extend that left leg out in front of you. If that feels good, you want to take it forward. You can fold forward, chin to shin, bend that left elbow, inhale back up. Exhale, open that left leg out towards the left side. Knee, if you need the modification. Woo, those wiggles and wobbles are okay. See, my hip likes to pop up. Trying to bring it back down. Gaze goes up towards the right. Inhale back through center, dancing Shiva. You can bend that left leg or reach down for the blade edge of the left foot. Kick into the hand, right arm reaches towards the back of the room. So it can come to the knee or right hand to the outside of the left foot. Gaze goes back towards those left fingertips. Try to straighten that leg. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, warrior three. Kick your left leg back, hands come to heart center. Hips stay nice and squared off, top of the head reaches forward. Exhale, bring the hands down to the mat. Left heel reaches. I'll turn again to face you. We're gonna go into that what's it called? Baby grasshopper. That's what it is. Bend that left knee, stack the hips. Go for that vine. Reach back with the right hand for the left foot. I like to try to see if I can grab the blade edge of the left foot. I reach for the top part of the left foot, and then for that blade edge. Walk that left hand out towards the side. So the left hand goes towards the left side, and then you're slowly going to bend into that right leg. As we bend into that right leg, we're bending into the left elbow. Start to kick that left leg out towards the right side. And then I kind of make a little bit of a shelf with that left elbow as we bend, send the chest forward. Baby grasshopper. Woo! You can just sit down out of it. I know it's hard. If you can, come back up and through. Standing splits. Exhale, forward folds. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folds. Step back into high plank. Take your final vinyasa. Lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, send the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Half pigeon pose. Inhale, right heel reaches towards the sky. Exhale, set your right knee up right behind the right wrist. So right knee behind that right wrist. Our left leg is out, nice and long behind us. If you want to throw a block under that right glute, you can. Get that weight nice and centered here. Inhale, lift the chest, look up. And then exhale, start to walk your hands out in front of you. Maybe your forearms come down to the mat, or it can come down to the mat or to a block. And we're just gonna hang here. We're gonna be here for about a minute or so. If this is bothering your knee, you can always modify by flipping over onto your back and taking thread the needle on your back, interlacing those crossing the right ankle over the left knee and then interlacing your hands behind that left thigh or in front of the left shin, and just shutting your eyes down. So as you settle into that half pigeon, whew, I know my heart rate's going a little from that baby grasshopper chair balancing shenanigans, so bring your focus back to your breath. We're about halfway through with our pigeon pose. And just looping back around to my mantra, kind of for this month, for the week, about one of my favorite books, The Four Agreements. If you haven't ever read it, I highly recommend it. It's an easy little read. I always suggest just diving right into the Four Agreements and skipping kind of the intro. It gets a little weird. I'm kind of weird, but it just kind of deferred me at first. So take 3 more deep breaths in half pigeon right side. If you're on your back, you're just gonna stay on your back. You're gonna switch out the legs. But if you're coming out of half pigeon on your right side, start to make your way up onto your hands and knees. Really any movements that feel good. I always just like to come back up to a tabletop and get some knee circles in. Just kind of get that blood flowing back again. And then when you're ready, we're gonna set up for the other side. Tuck the toes under, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left heel towards the sky. Exhale, set that left knee up right behind the left wrist. Right leg is out nice and long behind us. So press the top of the right foot into the mat. Flex those left toes. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, walk your hands out in front of you. Forearms come to the mat. Forehead comes down to a block. And you're gonna settle into your half pigeon. I'm sitting up just so I can deliver my mantra a little better. Won't be as muffled as with my face in the ground, even though I could use some half pigeon of my own. So we've got this half pigeon left side, same time, about a minute or so. And throughout the month, I've been focusing on an agreement each week. I've made my way to this week's agreement is don't make assumptions. And I found that that's something that I'm really bad at. I found that a lot of people who have really creative minds, like myself and a lot of others out there, it can be really easy to make assumptions. Our minds just get going and going and going, and there's just a better way for us to use our creativity, I think. We're about halfway through. So in the book, it talks about when we make assumptions, a lot of times taking things personally and going and making assumptions go hand in hand. So when we make assumptions, we basically just a lot of times unnecessarily create inner drama, inner struggle when we take things personally and when we make assumptions about why people do the things that they do. Take a few more deep breaths here. And I don't know about you, but I feel like there's plenty of drama going on in the world that I live in without me creating some more, stressing myself out when it's unnecessary. Start to make your way out of the pose, taking all the time you need, maybe making your way onto your hands and knees, circling that left leg out. And then slowly start to make your way down to a seated position on your mat. Coming into Baddha Konasana, bring the soles of your feet together, knees out wide. And you can either bring your heels in really close to your body, far away, somewhere in between. They all kind of offer different stretches. Go for the one that you feel like you need the most today. So find one of those 3. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, start to fold forward, hinge forward. If you can't hinge forward anymore, just let the head hang. So in the 4 agreements, I think it's Don Miguel, was totally butchering his name in my class last night. He speaks on the easy way, catch yourself if you're making an assumption and just ask for clarification. Instead of assuming
why somebody's acting the way they are, just get curious. You know, of course, yeah, I just feel that taking things personally, making assumptions really go hand in hand. And the answer to that is communication with the other person. A lot of times, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten really worked up in my head about something. And then when I talk to the person, it usually comes when you're already really worked up and upset. They're like, what is that? What's even going on? Like, I'm sorry, I did not mean to offend you. And also, what are you thinking? Start to make your way out of the pose. Come on up out of the pose. And I've had it happen to me too. When people come at me with some crazy stories and they're all upset with me, I'm like, well, what are you even talking about? Like, that's not what's going on. Like, I was like, that's very intriguing, but like, I don't feel that way at all. And so I feel like communication is just really, really the key there. And start to make your way down onto your back. So we're gonna come down onto our back. That's just my little spiel, my little mantra. Again, if that's something that interests you, if you're like, I don't need to hear any of this, none of this applies to me, I don't make assumptions, I don't take things personally, that's awesome. That's not me. I need to work on it a little bit, but that's just my little tidbit of wisdom for the day. Start to rock from side to side. If there are any other poses you want to get in before I cue our supine twist, then go ahead and get those in. Sometimes a shoulder stand, a wheel pose, just really anything else. I'll cue a supine twist after this. I'm just gonna shut my mouth, turn the music up a little bit, and give you this little moment. Just get a little bit of yogi free time in. Feel free to play as long as you like. If you're ready to join me for a supine twist, arms up overhead, legs out nice and long. Exhale, hug your right knee into your chest. Extend your right arm out towards the side, palm faces down. Use your left hand to guide your right leg across the body. Supine twist, right side. Inhale, bring your right knee back through center. Then release your right leg to the mat. Hug your left knee into your chest. Extend your left arm out towards the side. Use your right hand to guide the left leg across the body. Supine twist, left side. Inhale, bring your left knee back through center. Go ahead and hug both of your knees into your chest. Give yourself one final squeeze. And then exhale, release everything to the mat. Let your feet flop to the outside edges of the mat. Open the palms of your hands up to the sky. And settle into your final resting pose, Shavasana.
slowly begin to bring movement. Ooh. Another song is on. Sorry about that. Slowly begin to bring movement back into your body. Start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And when you're ready, reach your arms up overhead. Get a nice full body stretch in. And then exhale, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And then slowly start to make your way over to the right side of your body. And take a few deep breaths in the fetal position. And when you're ready, start to make your way up to a comfortable seated position on your mats. On your next inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, gathering up all the good energy that we've created here today. And then on your next exhale, take your hands to heart center. The light in me honors and sees the light in each and every one of you. Thank you so much for showing up and allowing me to guide you through this practice. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Namaste. All right, Lauren, so thank you. It looks like the recording is still going on. So again, hopefully I can get this. It's Thursday afternoon right now, so I'm gonna do my best to get it to you after I teach tonight. So I'm gonna shut this off now. Hope your trip's going really well so far. If this worked out good for you and you want me to do some more, I've got the recording on my phone. Now it's the sending it part, but we shall see. So fingers crossed. So yeah, let me know if you have any questions, if you have any feedback, how you could hear me, any feedback. I haven't done this. I haven't recorded and sent anything since 2020. So I'm a little rusty. So yeah, any feedback's good, and hope you're having a really great trip. All right. Thanks, Lauren.